welcome back to the Patient Man. What is happening? Today we are doing a little beach walk. Let's have a little bit of a look behind me. Looking good. Little beach walk that's going to incorporate a great conversation, some addiction of finding seashells. So if I do look down, don't judge me, I'm just accepting the fact that I have an obsession with seashells and I've already seen one. All right, subject today, my lovely family out there of men. If I can unlock my phone, it'd be a good start. Identity shifts through life. This is pretty cool. This one's not as brutal as some of the other ones, but identity shifts through life. What identities, or how have you thought you were, identification, in your life? What ways have you seen yourself? And what ways have you thought you were a certain way? I know personally, and I would be surprised if people didn't have any identity shift, because we're made to humans are made to learn. We're made to, as we grow up, we try to fit the molds and we try to do things, we follow a lot of people. We follow other friends, we follow influencers, or we follow whoever it might be. But you can identify with that. I mean, I think everyone, and again, you would be lying if no one went through a gothic stage, let's be honest. The goth, the old rock music or the heavy metal, or there's always that stage in identifying with the outfits and the kit. And I've gone through 1,000 different ways of trying to find myself. None of them worked until now, so that's good. So hence why I'm not an emo anymore. But yeah, how many different identities do you think you've had in your life? Now, as always, I can only give you my perspective, so I'll just say a few that I've went through. So, as a young male growing up in a country town and struggling to find out where I fit in the world, I took on certain identities that never suited my personality. So, when I was in my early high school, I used to be a bully because I was a bigger guy, and the identity, I wanted to be a tough guy. And people used to look at me like, you're a tough guy, because I was so big, but I was probably the most scaredest, is that a word? The most fearful person in that actual age group. But I had this sort of persona I had to live up to, and this identity of being the sort of like a jock, like a jock sort of thing. And that's all I really did have, because I wasn't very academic. Being young, a young male, especially for myself, a lot of hormones raging through me. So I took that identity of being a bully and being a big, strong brat, let's be honest, a brat. Now that didn't suit me, because I used to do that and I used to hate doing it. I used to hate picking on people. I used to hate walking around with my chest up and trying to be tough, because that just absolutely was the polar opposite of who I am. But that's just what I went with. So that was an identity. What else did I do that was interesting? Identifying when I was an athlete, identifying as a sportsman led me into, I put all of my identity into that. And that's obviously all I ever had, because everything I'd done was physical, because I was so scared emotionally. So identification with body and outcomes, with trying to be a certain way, or be a footy player, or look a certain way and hang around certain people and say certain things. That was a huge identity for a long, long time. And when I took the leap and I left AFL, Aussie rules, that was a huge identity crisis for me, because I had to surrender that because I no longer lived it. But my ego was still there, so I had to find something else to cling on to. to fulfill my identity crisis. So I went to bodybuilding, and there was another identification with body again. So again, it's all image, and you can see where this is going to go. But identification with the body is a beautiful thing, but it can be very dangerous. And I'm still coming out the other end of it now, and starting to understand and trying to just be at peace with, I still want to lose a certain amount of adiposity, like fat, and I want to have more lean muscle mass. Like, I've got goals still. I'm not just completely dismissing the fact that, you know, I'm not just a yogi guru who just forgets about goals. I'm very goal driven still, but I just don't identify with it anymore. It's not me as a person. I'm not just my physical form. So that's me. That's the story about Chriso. What's yours? What's your identification? What sort of persona or identification did you have as a teen, even to now? What can you tell me about yourself? And I'd love to hear it and put it in the comments, because we all do have that. We all have that sort of we all have some sort of identification or identification crisis. So, question of the day is, what identity have you outgrown but still cling to? So for me, it's exactly what I just said. The last part of the conversation was, for me, sorry, I've got to get better at this camera. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better. For me, identification with bodybuilding and physical image is still something I struggle with. I would say I'm a lot better, but I still do struggle with it. And I think most people do struggle with self-image. But it is what it is. I mean, that's probably what I have worked through the most, but still gets me occasionally. So that's just the truth of the story. Like, yeah, I am human, and I've got my own ways of thinking, and it doesn't make me wrong or right or bad or good. It's just what it is. So put in your comments below what yours is. What's something that you don't identify with anymore but still creeps up on you? Rightio. Much love to you all.